Hi guys, my name is Ramsey and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if it's your first time. Welcome back if it's not. Probably it's not your first time given my subscriber count, but I'm glad to have you here. So today we're going to be looking at automation from a slightly different angle, right? And actually, even though it's a slightly different angle, it's something that we've revisited before, and we'll get to that in a moment. But the idea here is to try and take design patterns from software engineering and see how we can apply them to automation and AI to make our workflows more efficient, more scalable, and easier to understand, right? And the specific design pattern I want us to look at today is called the factory method. And the way it works is basically a client, so like an interface or a form, whatever, or you talking to your AI, basically delegates the task of choosing what to build to interchangeable creators that keep so that it doesn't have to know about the complexity of the system. It stays decoupled from the system that it's working with. This is best understood with a concrete example. Let's say you have an N8n workflow, right? And you're basically feeding it like transcripts from like YouTube videos. So you've got like some kind of YouTube scraper running. And depending on your needs at any given time, you might want a LinkedIn article out of that transcript, you might want a Twitter thread, you might want a Medium article, whatever, right? If you were to build this, so a single workflow that could handle all of this, one way to do it, the naive, complicated way, would be to have like some kind of dynamic prompting to an LLM, depending on the kind of content you need. But that would make a lot of complexity appear out of nowhere because you'd need a code node at some point, right? Or something similar. And it would get more complex as you wanted to add other kinds of content, like maybe you want to add TikTok content or Instagram content. So the best way around that is to have an intelligent switch, an intelligent sort of delegator decide which particular creator to call, the LinkedIn writer, the Twitter writer, the Medium writer, and let them do the actual work of handling the content. Over time, you can add other writers, and the intelligent delegator would still be able to choose. And the client would never have to know what's actually going on behind the scenes. They just get what they want. So as you can see here, with the factory method, you'd have a really complex system where you have like one single workflow creating all of these and then giving an output. While with the factory method, so this is without it, with the factory method, this creator delegates the actual work of creating to individual creators and then just collects their results and gives an output. So as usual, we're going to build a demo in N8n so you can see this in real time. We're going to have an input with a YouTube URL and then a content factory that has individual writers and then an output, right? So I call this the content repurposing factory. And it's basically a form and then the scraping of the YouTube video. And in the form, you also get to choose the specific platform you want, some variable settings, some delegation, and then some collection and the final output. And you can see here, if I test this form, you can see that it's a very simple form. You just enter your YouTube URL and you choose a platform. So without further ado, let's step right in and build it. Okay, so I'm just gonna have a new workflow here. And we're going to call this the content repurposing factory demo because we already have a content repurposing factory. Okay, and the first thing we have here is a form, right? And we can see here that we need a form title. I'm not going to touch any of this other stuff. And the form title will be YouTube content repurposing or something. I don't know what I wrote here, but we can just like work off of what we built earlier. So submit YouTube URL and platform. So I'm just gonna copy that and paste it here. Great, and the form description, what's that gonna be? So that, enter the YouTube URL and the platform you'd like to repurpose it for. And we'll just have that there. And then we need to add form elements. So first field is going to be YouTube URL, I believe. It's going to be a text field, and the placeholder will be enter the YouTube URL, and it's going to be a required field. So YouTube URL, text, enter the YouTube URL, and it's a required field. And the next one is going to be the platform field. It's going to be a drop-down list because this makes it easier so that you have a little more determinism in the data coming back instead of having them actually write the platform. They might write whatever. Then you're going to have three options: LinkedIn, Twitter/X, and Medium. So let's do that. So this is the platform. It's going to be a drop-down list, and you're going to have the option for LinkedIn and Twitter/X and Medium. Great, and it's also going to be a required field, as I believe I chose here. Fantastic. And now we can test it just to see if it works. And here you can see it has YouTube URL and platform. And for the URL, I like this video by Matthew Berman about self-improving AI, where he breaks down the Alpha Evolve paper. I hope you guys checked it out. I'll put the link to the video in the description. And then we are going to enter that here. And for the option, let's just pick LinkedIn. And now if we submit, we can see here that we have a result. And this is really good because now we can come here and pin that data so we can use it downstream. The next thing is to do the scraping. Now for the scraping, I will use Apify, specifically the YouTube transcript extractor, so by DZ Omar. Apify does give you $5 worth of free credits. You can see this guy charges you $1 per 1,000 results, so you can scrape up to 1,000 videos transcripts. So it gives you a lot of power. And if you go to the API section and API endpoints, you'll see the request. So we're actually going to run actor synchronously, simply because I know beforehand that this actor doesn't run for a long time. So it's going to be under 5 minutes. So you can run actor and wait for the results. If it took longer, you'd run the actor and then you'd have to figure out some other way to poll for results, which we can cover in a future video. So it's a post request. You just like click this copy thing. I'm not gonna copy it, or am I? Let me see. Let me just copy it because I know I've used it here already. But anyway, we're going to change this to a post method, and then we're gonna have this there. And remember guys, to keep your API keys secret. I'm gonna make sure I delete that one after this video. And then of course you have to send a body. So if you go back to the scraper, you can see here in the input, if you go to JSON, it gives you like an example. So the manual would explain how to enter it manually, but the JSON shows you if you were using a JSON object, how you'd enter it. So you can see it has a required timestamps key, transcript only key, and YouTube URL key, where you can enter several YouTube URLs and the methods associated. So I believe for this, first of all, we're going to say we're going to send a body, and then it's going to be JSON, and then we're going to use JSON instead of fields. And I think I already kind of like took the body. Basically, I probably just copy pasted it, but it's going to be somewhere here. And you can see I just took a single YouTube URL, the method get. And we're just going to copy that, and paste it here. And now, of course, it already dynamically pulls in a variable, but I'll delete that just to show this to you. So basically, you pull in the YouTube URL from the form, and that's what goes in as the request. And now if you test this step, it's going to send the call to Apify and give us a result back. There we go. So you can see here we have, oh wow, did we not get any results? It's supposed to be a post request. Let's see. The beauty of it is if it fails here, you can sort of go back to Apify and just check that run. If you come back to your runs, you'll see here any run that failed. And you'll see here if it tells you. And it says here it did succeed, but it seems it's not getting its result like it needs to. I'm sure it has something to do with the API key I use. Okay, this should be for a different account. So, okay, I'm gonna come back here and actually choose this URL. And then if I come back here and add that and put it back, We should get something now. So that's from my actual account, I bet. Yeah, so I just had the wrong account being used. But yeah, so that's basically it. As you can see, it gives back the result. And now we can say set some variables. So this is scraping caption, submitting YouTube URL. So maybe you can say here, submit URL and caption. And here, scrape captions. Platform, sorry. This needs to be changed. So this is actually platform. Okay. Next, we're going to set variables. So we are going to have a set node that we can use downstream, right? So we're going to have, say, the title, or video title, which is going to take the video title from this. And then we are going to have the video URL, which is going to pull from here. And then we are going to have the transcript, which is going to pull from the text transcript, the transcript text, sorry. And then we are going to have the platform, which is going to pull from the platform all the way down here. No, actually, it's going to pull it from the form, because that's where we got the platform, right? So we got to get that. So that's a cool gotcha. It's several items behind. It's doing this red thing because I actually haven't triggered this form. So if I trigger it, it should run, and then trigger this again, should run. And now if I trigger this, it should have set all those variables for me. Great, now we have the video title, video URL, transcript, and platform. There we go. So now we go here, and where we actually have the intelligent switching, though in this case it's not, but you know, we're using a switch node. But you could also use like a text classifier as an intelligent switch. But the point is to check the platform here. So depending on the platform request, we're routed to a different place. So we are going to check the platform here. And in the first case, if it's LinkedIn, it goes one way. Again, check the same thing, you know. So if it's Twitter/X, it goes another way. And then the same thing again. And now if it's Medium, it goes a third way, right? And now if you test this, you should be able to see that it actually goes through the LinkedIn route, the first route, right? You can see it here. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to set up these AI agents with a structured output process, prompt them, and then have them give their output. So we're going to have the first one here, and we're just going to have AI agents, and it's going to take its input, so a prompt from defining below. And for the prompt, we're gonna come back here, and I'm gonna, it's not really a video about prompts, just for demo purposes, but in the future we could do a video about how to get AI to help you write some of these prompts. But as you can see, you write authoritative but friendly LinkedIn post, craft a single LinkedIn post summarizing the video title, use a hook, 3 bullet takeaways, and a 1-sentence CTA. Base it on this transcript. And then you give the example output. Always give an example output if you wanted to give structured output. So we're going to copy that. We're going to paste it here. And as you can see, it's already right because I actually named the video title and the video URL and all of that the same as I had done in the previous workflow. Now, if you test it, it should give you something. Oh, there's no model, sorry. So we add a model, OpenAI, my favorite. You can connect your credentials. I've talked about this in previous videos. You can check them out now to connect your credentials. Or rather, I always just include the docs in the description. I'll do that this time as well. I just picked GPT-4o because it's good enough for this. And then of course, add a structured output parser. That's something we forgot. Now, for that, you first need to come back to the AI agent and say that you require a specific output format. And then you can add the structured output parser. And in here, maybe you can add this JSON example, because output parsers let you do that, and put it in there. And maybe you can come here and rename this as LinkedIn Writer. And now if you come back here and run it, you should be able to get some output. As you can see, it writes a LinkedIn post for you and puts it in the proper JSON format. So the content. Now it's almost exactly the same for the others. So I'm not gonna like walk you through each build, but I'm just gonna try and copy paste them from this. And actually, before that, let's see how we set the output variable, right? So after the AI node, we need to set some variables that can be used downstream. So we're gonna add that. So it's a set node, right? And you can see here that we have the video itself, where we add the title. I guess it's the video title, the platform, the URL, and the content, right? So we're gonna have video, URL, platform, and content. So video, which is going to take from this previous set node, it's going to take the video title. And then we're going to have the URL, which is going to take from here. And then we're going to have the platform, which is also going to take from here. And then we are going to have finally the content, which is going to be the content produced by our LLM, the LinkedIn Writer. And we're just going to pull this from here and there. So we call this set output for LinkedIn Writer, or something similar. I don't know what I named it. Set output variables number 1. I'm just gonna have that because I'm gonna copy paste a lot of it from here. But basically, it's pretty much the same thing. So if you have these other AI nodes, it's exactly the same thing. And the beauty of it is I can actually just come here and copy paste these. So I could have them as such and copy and come and paste here. And you can so like just select all of them like so and connect them. So a really cool feature of N8n. So this is the Twitter writer, is I can come, this would connect to the second node. And this is the medium writer, and it would connect to the third node. And of course, this comes with its own output setter, and this one would also do the same. So I just copy that and I would paste it here and have it connect to this LLM. The beauty of it is, and this is what I wanted to show you, if I right click and I click on tidy up workflow, boom, it's clean all of a sudden. Anyway, you can see here that the Twitter writer basically has a prompt user message that uses the transcript from the previous one, the switch node, and it just says you're an X thread writer, create a 6-tweet thread, and then it tells it what to write, gives it the transport, gives it a bit, and then gives it the JSON shape. And it's exactly the same with the medium writer, though this one has a system message. And again, I'm not going to go through this. I will share the workflow template and you can read the system message and the user message for it, but you can see the dynamic variable pulling from the set node. And then you have the output variables, which are pretty much the same as, you know, set variables for factory. Okay, I think that would be this this node here, which I'm gonna rename to set variables for factory, because that's, I think, what I had named it right here. And this should make this work a lot better. Set variables for factory. And it will say the reference node does not exist. Okay, let me just add that Y at the end. And now that reference node is going to exist for sure. And you can see it's the same thing, video URL, platform, content, etc. Same thing here. Next, we add the final output, which is just a merge node, and it's just in append mode, because it's only gonna, for now, it's only ever gonna get like one of the results. But if you wanted all three, it would also take those, and then you could like post-process, right? And so the merge node is very easy to implement. So you just add here the merge node, append mode with 3 inputs, right? Very simple. And now you just like connect each input. So first to first, middle to middle, last to last. Feels like, you know, you're doing some electrical wiring here. But if I tidy up my workflow, it should be okay. So I'll just say collect final output. And from there, you know, the next step is to just add it to a Google Sheet. I happen to have a sheet I call sample sheet, and I had it with these columns, a column for video, column for URL, a column for platform, a column for content. It's very easy to set up your Google credentials. I'll leave like the N8n docs in the description. Let me know if you'd like me to make a video about setting up credentials for different nodes. And then you choose the operation, which is to append a row, and then the type of list, I called mine the sample content sheet. It's right here. Actually, I'd already done some work. So I had a column for video, column for URL, a column for platform, and a column for content. And you can see then that after that, I just add these variables, pull them dynamically. And you know, I can literally copy this again and paste it here. And that node should be somewhere here. And you can do that and then tidy up your workflow and you should be good. And now if I run the workflow, let's see if it does something. Now it's running the LinkedIn writer. Taking its sweet time. And there, and it just posted to Google Sheets. And you can see there's a new post that just came in probably, right here. See, it did the post just like it was supposed to. And you could come here and edit this, maybe like, for example, make this instead of LinkedIn, make it Twitter X, since that's what it's named in the form. And now if you run the same workflow, you should get it like going through the middle. What's wrong? I can't connect to N8n. Not sure why. Now it should work. Now you test the same workflow. You should get it going through the middle. What do you mean workflow successfully executed? Let's see. I think there's a problem in my network, but that's the idea. As you can see here, it actually routes directly. So it finished running, but it didn't root, but it should root directly through the Twitter writer. I'm going to give like this workflow template. I don't know why it's doing this. If I look at my executions, I should probably see that it ran the workflow. I just have a poor internet connection or something. Yeah. Well, I'll look into that. But the idea is, and I'll copy paste the exact same workflow, is that it can do the routing, and this is a form of the factory method. This is a version of the factory method that you can use in your content creation, even in lead scoring, for example, or lead segmentation, or your customer service, like having a different customer service representative agent decide how to respond to a request. And with that, while I'm trying to figure out why my network is so messed up, that has been the end of our episode on the factory method. I hope to see you guys again next time. And we're going to cover yet another design pattern. I won't tell you yet, but you'll find out. It's going to be fun. So until next time, bye-bye. Oh, by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm terrible at this, still learning. And if you do want help with lead generation for your business or content creation, like automating these processes, you can find a link to my LinkedIn services page. Reach out to me and we can figure out how we can help each other. We can figure out for a good fit. So until next time, now for real, goodbye.